Every December, I get this overwhelming urge to wipe the slate clean in every area of my life. If you want to hit reset too, here are 13 small, quick, but powerful things that you can do to clear your head, calm your heart. Trust me, these are going to become your go-tos every New Year's. And they're so simple that you can fit them into your busy holiday season. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? It's Laura, and I know it's supposed to be a meaningful time of year, but let's face it, a lot of us get caught up in the chaos of it. So if you're looking to bring back a little of the magic of the season, write a heartfelt note to somebody who made a positive impact on your life this year. Doesn't have to be long or fancy or on really nice paper or anything. Maybe just a short letter or a little thank you card. This one's a winner because it makes the recipient feel good. You know, they feel loved and seen and appreciated. But you also feel great because you are reflecting on how much they mean to you. Plus, the world benefits because every little drop of kindness counts. Who are you going to write a little note of gratitude to? Another powerful way to close out the year is with a reflection, but not just any old reflection. A lot of us focus on the stuff that we didn't get done, or we only remember those big moments, but I want you to go a little bit deeper than that. I only want you to focus on what did get done, like what you did achieve and what helped. Look, we're done bashing ourselves. It's time to celebrate. And not just the big things, but the small ones too. Did you take the dog to the park a few times this year? Did you eat a few home-cooked meals? Did you stay in touch with some of the most important people in your life? Did you pay your taxes? Listen, every little win counts. I do my reflections in my digital planner. It makes it so much quicker and easier for me because I already have a whole year of reflections and journal entries to look back on, so I can just quickly recap everything. I really love having all of my plans and my goals and my lists and my journal entries, all my memories in one place. I will link it if you want to use it to reflect also and to plan intentionally for the new year. Another thing to reflect on is what you want to let go of. Now again, not in a self-loathing way, but in a gentle releasing way. Something that came up for me when I did this last year was that I really wanted to forgive myself. I wanted to let go of past mistakes, you know, thinking that I had done the wrong thing, thinking that I wasn't the best, whatever. And there was something about actually writing the words, I forgive myself. I actually wrote them down. I forgive myself and others for past lapses in judgment. That is a quote. There was something about actually writing that down that was incredibly freeing and that made it seem very real to me. Like it was a conscious decision, a conscious releasing. I think we're so used to adding stuff to our plate, you know, more things to do, more goals to achieve, more dreams to chase, that we forget to factor in where we're going to get the time to do that, where we're going to get the energy to do that. And it comes from letting go of some other old stuff. Stay tuned, by the by, if you want to hear more ideas on that score. But try creating a stop doing list so that you can go into the new year feeling much lighter. Make a conscious decision that you are going to release something. If you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And now let's get practical. Imagine running out of something essential over the holiday season, like toilet paper or shampoo or chocolate. 10 times worse if you have guests, mostly for them. I am intolerable if I have not had my snackies. Take some time before the real madness begins to do a top-up shop. This is you stocking up on all of the essentials that will carry you through the season. So I'm talking toiletries, cleaning supplies, food that is going to last. No last minute scramble to the shops for batteries or toothpaste. And a bonus tip for you here is to set these up on some sort of subscription so that they arrive on a regular basis throughout the new year. And that's just one less thing that is taking up mental headspace, so that you can go through the new year with a little more clarity, a little more calm, and a better ability to focus on other things. Next then is one of those tasks that we all put off, but you know you're going to feel so great, so accomplished when you get it done. I am talking about all of those health checkups. Maybe your car needs to be serviced, your furnace or some other appliance needs to be maintained. All of those kind of annual checkup appointments, the stuff that is either overdue, you know, you've been avoiding it, or is just now coming due. Like with the subscription stuff, this is one less thing that you will have to worry about in the new year if you either get it done now or at least get it scheduled now. And then hopefully you can go another 12 glorious months without having to think about it. Now, we all know it's a crazy time of year. There's a lot more stuff going on. There's a lot more cooking, there's a lot more laundry, lighting of candles, maybe there's a lot of extra people in the house. So get that emergency equipment checked. I'm talking your smoke alarms, fire extinguishers, first aid kits. Cooking and using the dryer are two of the most common causes of house fires, and those are probably two things that we are doing slightly more of this time of year. So make sure that all of your safety precautions are taken in advance. Take just a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, to ensure that everything is in good working order, that you know how to use it, you know how to use it properly, that your family or whoever you live with knows like what the emergency contacts are, phone numbers, what emergency plans are. Make sure that all of your exits are unobstructed in case you need to get out of the house very quickly. Basically, give yourself the gift of a safe season. Next, I want you to pick one area that annoys you. It could be a junk drawer, it could be your desk, it could be your closet, and just spend a few minutes decluttering it. Tackling this before the new year is going to give you that like great sense of accomplishment. It gives you that little win, that little boost, and then you can go into the new year feeling a lot calmer, a lot lighter. You will be making space for what matters. Now, I would recommend that you try and stick to a visible space, like a high impact space, somewhere that you are interacting with on a regular basis, so that by clearing it, by decluttering it, it's going to have an impact on your daily life. If you're not sure, I always recommend starting with either the top of your bedside table or your sock drawer, because those are two spaces. They're very small for a start, so they're quite easy to tackle. They don't feel overwhelming, but also you see those spaces, you interact with those spaces on a daily basis. Tidying them up can add a little sparkle to your life, and it doesn't take a long time. And the bonus here is that these spaces are less likely to be messed up again by other people. Looking at you, kitchen counters. Oh, an endless task. But there is nothing quite like, maybe I'm biased, but I don't think there's anything quite like a little decluttering spree to have you starting a new year with a spring in your step. Now, speaking of clutter, digital clutter is a really sneaky stressor. It's so easy to save another file or take another photo, and we don't really give much thought to it because it's not taking up physical space. But then throughout the year, we start to notice these little annoyances. So we start getting notifications saying that our device is running out of space, or the device starts running a lot more slowly than usual, maybe even freezing. Or we can't find what we need and we spend ages searching for it, scrolling, trying to find it. So do yourself a favor and delete some old photos. Quickly flick back over the year photos that you have taken. You can immediately delete any that are blurry, any that are duplicates, or any that just don't have the same meaning to you anymore. I mean, I always take pictures of random things while I'm out and about, but as the year goes on, I'm kind of like, why did I take a picture of that? Sometimes you're trying to capture a moment, so you go to take the picture really quickly and, you know, the moment has already passed, but you just keep the picture there because it's that extra step of having to delete it. But if you flick back through it now, clear some stuff out, you will be condensing the photos down to a concentrated dose of the stuff that actually matters, the memories you want to keep. A great place to find a bunch of stuff that you can easily delete is your screenshots folder. All of those inspirational quotes that you saved, those recipes, that pair of jeans that you thought you would buy, craft you thought you might like to try, all of those things. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. Just another thing to release in the new year. Start fresh. I promise there's going to be plenty more inspiration out there just waiting to refill your screenshots folder. Sticking with the theme of digital decluttering for now, another great thing to get rid of, and this is something that is going to not only free up space for you, but also in the future save yourself time and temptation. Unsubscribe from 10 email newsletters. So go into your email inbox, do a search for the word unsubscribe, and it will bring up all of the newsletters that you are subscribed to. Go through and quickly unsubscribe from any that you know you don't want to continue receiving, or you know is going to be too tempting for you. You know, it always just leads to you buying more clutter. Hopefully it's not my newsletter, but if it is, so be it. Whatever makes your life lighter and brighter. Clearing out your inbox, especially as a creator, is one of the best ways to relieve a lot of stress. Every year on New Year's Eve, I actually just declare inbox bankruptcy. I archive all of the emails, because the reality is if I haven't replied to someone by then, or if I haven't taken action on the email by then, I'm probably not going to. So I start with a clean slate every new year, and it is glorious. You know, I release all of that pressure to respond. I release all of that guilt about all of these unread emails piling up. If they're really important, they will come back around. But let's face it, there is nothing in my inbox, and possibly yours, that is really life or death. And I have to say that since I started doing this a few years ago, I've actually become a lot more intentional about my inbox. So I'm much quicker now to unsubscribe from something. I'm much quicker to respond to people. Starting fresh really helps me feel a lot more focused, a lot more in control of my inbox. So try unsubscribing from a few so that you can feel unburdened in the new year. Another area where I declare bankruptcy, though thankfully not in the literal sense, is with my finances. I actually haven't done this in a few years. Not really sure why. I think it's because the last few years my family have been visiting. They've been here like for Christmas and New Year, so a lot of kind of my normal stuff just goes out the window, but I have re-added it to my list for this year, and that is to do a little mini financial audit. So for me, and you don't have to do this at all, just explaining what I do, I zero out all of my accounts. So what does that mean? I clear my credit cards, my personal and my business credit cards. I do pay them in full every month, but the payments are due kind of in the middle of the month, whereas I want to start the new year fresh. So New Year's Eve, I go in and I pay the balance on both of them, take them back down to zero. I also take all of the money out of my current account, checking account, and I transfer all of that balance, apart from what I might need for, you know, an upcoming bill, something that I know is definitely coming. Otherwise, everything gets transferred out, and I use that to make an extra payment on my mortgage. So all of my bills are paid, or, you know, the payments are scheduled. I'm reducing my debt, and I get to start from scratch, essentially, minus the mortgage debt. That'll still be around for a few years yet, but again, it's something that I'm chipping away at. But all of the kind of day-to-day stuff, all cleared out, all zeroed. I also take a quick moment to look over my bills and see if there's any way that I could either get rid of one, you know, so maybe it's a subscription that I'm paying for that I no longer want or need, or even if I can reduce it. So maybe it is, you know, a utility bill or insurance or something that I could call up and see if I can get some sort of reduction or discount on it. I download all of my financial statements for the year. Sometimes I have to wait a few days into January to do this because not all of them will be ready, but most of them are. And I update my tax spreadsheets where I track all of my income and expenditure. I do this every month, but yeah, at the end of December, I will update the ones for December and then just kind of quickly go back over the others to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. My Irish and US accountants, they both get an email from me on January 1st wishing them a happy new year and attaching my tax documents. Now, your mini financial audit might look a little different, might look a lot different. Maybe you book an appointment with a financial advisor. Maybe you even just look at your bank account, look at your bank statements, take a look at your bank balance. Maybe that's something you haven't done in a while. Maybe you just look over the bills that you're paying. Maybe you close an unused account or you cancel an unused credit card. It'll look different for everyone. Whatever it is for you, use the end of the new year to get yourself one step closer to financial security and or independence. Now, if I have learned anything in the decade that I have been decluttering, particularly when it comes to physical stuff, it's that you have to get it out of the house. Otherwise, all you've really done is just create a nice little pile for yourself. So when you get a chance, do a drop off at a local charity shop or schedule a pickup. It is a simple way to clear some space, to make sure that all of your decluttering efforts have not gone to waste. And it's just a good deed. You know, the feel-good factor is always a bonus. And if you do it before Christmas, you might really be helping out a family who is looking for gifts on a very tight budget. So you donating your stuff could make all the difference to someone else's holiday season. Now, speaking of brightening someone else's season, try to schedule in some meaningful connection. Go ahead and cancel the random social event that you really could not give two hoots about and plan in some quality time with a good friend or a family member. I've already talked about a handwritten note, which is still a lovely thing to do, but sometimes we need that face-to-face interaction. And I say this even as an introvert, you know, even I sometimes need that one-on-one interaction with the right person. So whether it is a quick catch up over coffee, whether it is a brunch date with your best friend, whether it's a dinner date with your significant other, plan in some time to strengthen the good relationships in your life. Stop saying like, oh, we must catch up, and actually do it. You can even pair it with another errand that you have to get done. So maybe you stroll around a holiday market with a family member, you know, while you're looking for gifts, or maybe you host a little gift wrapping party with your friend group. Also, if you have enough friends that you can actually call them a group, first off, how did you do that? What is that like, having an actual group of friends? But also, count your blessings. But really, it is those moments that matter. It is the connection. It is sharing something with somebody special. So go into the new year knowing that you have strengthened those bonds. Now, obviously, if you can make it a regular thing to connect with somebody, you know, like planning a monthly lunch date, that's great. Go ahead and do that. I know for me, that time between talking to someone seems to go by at an alarming rate. Like, I could text a friend of mine to wish them a happy birthday, only to realize that the last time I spoke to them was to wish them a happy birthday the previous year. I don't know how that happens. But anyway, instead of making these massive resolutions or picking these huge habits that you know you're never going to stick to because experience is a great teacher, try to stick to teeny tiny habits and actions. So every year I do what I call dry run December, and this is a time when I get to trial a few things and see how they fit into my life. I just try and get the ball rolling on a few things, you know, take a habit or two for a test run. That way, come January 1st, I have already built some momentum. So I would recommend that you have a 5-minute habit or even a 1-minute habit, you know, something that you are going to try and do daily in December. See how it goes. Take it for a little test drive, if you will. If you're looking for some inspiration, I have a video coming up where I do it every year, I share the most impactful habits that I implemented that year. Things that were small but really made a positive difference. But for you, maybe you already know what you want to do. Like maybe it could be something as simple as just stretching once a day or journaling once a day. And again, it doesn't have to be like big long thing, but just jotting down some thoughts from the day. It could be anything like that, just anything small and simple, but that you feel would be meaningful. Starting small makes it so much easier to stick to, and then you go into the new year feeling accomplished because you know that you've taken on something that is sustainable over the long term. Plus, you know that it will have, like, even the smallest of things can have this compounding effect. So the tiny thing that you do today could have an outsized impact on your life in the new year. Which one do you think you will tackle first? I would love to know how you're prepping for the new year. But if you are frazzled and you are wondering how you're going to fit in like anything, never mind the things on this list, check out this video for some time-saving tips. These will help you reclaim hours over your holiday season. Until then, go raibh, míle maith agaibh, agus feicim mé sibh go luath. Slán!